I went to this guy's door years ago, and I went to preach my Jehovah's Witness stuff to him, and he said to me, he has his own faith, and he believes what he belongs to is the truth. And he says, but I suppose you believe what you belong to is the truth as well. And I'm like, well, yeah. And he says, so, he says, then you'd understand that I believe that I have the truth. And if I go and question this truth, I'm actually questioning God. So if I went to your church with you, he's talking about my Jehovah Witness Kingdom Hall. If I went to your church with you, he says, wouldn't God know that I'm questioning God? Because I believe that I have, my faith is the truth. And if I go with you to yours, now I'm questioning that. And I'm like, God wants you to do that. What? I said, it's in the Bible. He wants you to make sure of all things, especially your faith. He wants you to test it out. Make sure it's the truth. Really? I'm like, yeah. And he says, okay. And I'm thinking, hey man, I just got through to this guy. This is awesome. Now this guy's gonna investigate if he has the truth or not, and he's gonna come with me to the Kingdom Hall, and once he enters into the Kingdom Hall, he's just gonna know that we have the truth. We just gotta get his foot in the door. Everybody in Christendom, once they step in a Kingdom Hall, oh my goodness, they're gonna be like, whoa, this is the truth. We've been doing things all wrong. You guys, this is obviously God's presence is here. I believed that people would think that if they walked into our Kingdom Hall. Although I had never walked into a church before, because Jehovah's Witnesses are forbidden to go into any church. So going back to this guy's story, I had never been in a church before, so I'm just thinking if he comes to my Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall, his eyes are going to be opened, and he seems like he's going in that direction. So he's like, interesting, okay, because I told him God wants you to make sure of all things, especially your faith, and test it out. So this guy, he says, all right, well, I'll tell you what. You come with me to mine, and I'll go with you to yours. And I'm like, what? He turned it on me. He was telling me, okay, so since you said God wants me to test out my faith and make sure it's right and go with you to your Kingdom Hall, then shouldn't you do the same thing with me? Test out your faith, come with me to my church, see if it's the truth or not, make sure of all things, like you said. The dude called me out, and I stood there, and in a way I was thinking he is persecuting me because he dared to make me think. And that word hypocrite was branded like a tattoo in my mind. I felt like a hypocrite. I walked away like a hypocrite. I might have thought I was so persecuted by this guy, but all he did is cause me to think. And I'm going to tell you what, Jehovah's Witnesses, anybody that causes them to think, they call that persecution. They believe they're being persecuted by people like me on YouTube, because all I want to do is try to help them to think, because he dared to think. He dared to reason. He dared to do what the Jehovah's Witnesses encourage everybody else to do, but will not do themselves.